Hi, everyone. Mitch from SportsChatPlace.com and PickDogs.com. It is Sunday, July 19th, 2020. We are in the home stretch. We've got real sports starting this week. And, of course, we got some guys here that think that have been some real sports that are already going on. And, of course, that's part of, what we do. We cover it all. So, I enjoy that, and I've enjoyed covering it and staying with you guys, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later and what we have coming up too. And I just think that tomorrow will be our final Monday with Mitch. At least that's scheduled, and we still might have there's some light scheduled days out there, and we'll have days where other guys can't be on the show and stuff like that. But tomorrow is our last of the COVID stoppage Mondays with Mitch, and I plan on enjoying that with you guys. So. I'm pretty excited about this stuff. So, anyways, without further ado, going to bring in Steve Monahan, talk about everything that's going on. We saw Max Scherzer yesterday, and he did not look so good. So we'll see if Max was just getting warmed up for the regular season, or if it could be something a little bit more serious. Steve, I watched the game yesterday between the Yankees and the Mets. I watched the full 9 inning of the contest. I made it actually through 6 words of Buck Showalter's commentary when he came on for a half an inning. I made it through 6 words before I hit the mute button, and I was watching the UFC fights on the computer at the same time. But Showalter, gruesome. Is there anybody that made it through that segment? Number one, people are out so you can get a haircut, right? Number one. You don't need to look like a clown, besides sounding like one. But is there anybody in America that cares what this guy has to say? I don't know. What? It's like, are they trying to, kill the game? How could the players not have negotiated? As hard asses as they are, how could they not have negotiated a no Showalter clause in the contract? I'm just missing it. What happened here, Steve?
Well, as I said yesterday, I had to take my son to a lacrosse tournament in Delaware, and then I got murdered in traffic. So I didn't get back in time to even listen to Buck. However, being a diehard Yankee fan, and Buck was the manager of the Yankees back in the early 90s, I know his way of speaking. I don't see him translating to the booth. In fact, he may surpass Jason Witten for you as the worst broadcaster in the history of broadcasting.
The thing is, he wasn't really in the booth. He was in his study at his house with a bad camera angle.
Right.
You guys look better on camera. Jeter, we need a little work with because we haven't got him set up yet, and we will. We'll get him a camera and some lights and the whole 9 yards. But, you guys look better on camera than Buck does. Seriously. It's like you figure, ESPN, they're kind of owned by Disney. We're partners with them, so we're not going to hammer that they couldn't buy Buck Showalter one of these or something. I'm not really sure what the hell happened there, but I lasted seriously 6 words. It was 6. I counted. It was because the remote was on the coffee table, and it was kind of, I never saw him. Maybe they said he was coming on, and I didn't know he was coming on, and I was kind of half listening because I was watching the fight, and it was the remote was kind of on the coffee table, and it was I saw him, and he went to open his mouth, and I immediately grabbed for the remote to hit the mute button, but he had already started.
Unfortunate.
Nothing pretty about it. Now, the Yankees' bats, I thought, were okay. A lot of the runs were scored off that Mets bullpen that we've talked about the entire stoppage and beforehand, right? I've been talking about the Mets bullpen for quite some time.
Yeah.
Rick Porcello actually handled himself pretty well. The Yankees got a run in the first and then a 3-run blast by maybe all the
Frazier.
Maybe all the guys will. Maybe all the guys
wear the mask.
Wear the mask. If you're going to hit it like that, it was quite a powerful swing, I would say. But overall, you get 3 runs really off Porcello during, it doesn't bode well, except for that Max Scherzer did not look so good in Philly. He didn't, I don't think he was 100% in the game there. But
No, I mean, this is Max Scherzer we're talking about. He's pitching Thursday, the opener against Cole. We've talked about that. I don't put any stock in Max Scherzer not looking too good yesterday.
I joked around in the Facebook group about the the fan noise, but I actually really did like it. The pumped in fan noise. I thought it was a nice touch, and I thought that they didn't kind of overdo it, with the pumped in fan noise. I thought it seemed natural, and if you weren't watching to see that it was just cutouts in the stands, they kind of booed the Yankees, a mild booing, like the Mets fans would, right? And then they had cheering on a single, like light cheering, and it was like a Mets crowd. It was pretty similar, and I'll tell you, there was more people in the stadium than there are for a Marlins game. So it was kind of, I really liked it. I've never really have been a preseason baseball watcher. I've watched spring training, and I've more when I used to play fantasy baseball many years ago. I used to watch a lot more spring training than I do now. I follow along just to see who's kind of looks good and who doesn't. But for the most part, everybody looks pretty good, and I'm, these guys are professional athletes, and it looked like no one had really hit the ho-hos in the, in the s'mores, just me, right? I mean, I got to go back. I'm going back in the gym on Monday, it's like, that's for sure.
Yeah, but yesterday I actually had that first feel of sports is back, right? You had baseball, you had horse racing, you had NASCAR, you had golf, you had everything. It was a beautiful summer day, hotter than hell over here, but it had the feel, right?
Yeah, I thought the baseball game was fun to watch, and it
I
wasn't.
saw the highlights, and
It wasn't
everything.
wide open until it wasn't busted wide open until later in the game. So it was competitive. I wasn't really watching it from a competitive standpoint. I was just watching to see if the quality of play was there. It wasn't like the ball hit up against the wall, whatever. It wasn't caught with 100% effort being made for it, and it wasn't like the refs didn't blow a call, the umps didn't blow a call and they overturned it, and the whole thing, happened. I mean, I always thought that the call that's missed the most often in baseball is that first base. The guy, is he safe or is he out? I've always thought that, and right out of the gate, safe. No, he's out by I could even see this, and it's like you're talking to a guy that when they do the NBA touched ball thing going out of bounds, I've never been right. I'm like 0 for 7,000. It's like, who did it hit up? Whose fingers did it up? I even see the slow motion instant replay. I still can't get it. That's how bad I am at that. But it was nice to see baseball back, and we have a lot more games on the schedule today for baseball, and maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later. But tomorrow we have a gigantic schedule. In fact, I'm gonna do videos of all the games. What the hell? I'm gonna do them all. Yeah. I need to have my spring training. It's been a while since I've done a video.
Yeah. But again, it was a good day yesterday. The Haskell in New Jersey, Authentic wins that race, $1 million. Bob Baffert, his 9th victory for that race. And so from a local perspective here in New Jersey, that's one of the great venues. It's very underrated, the Haskell. It's in Monmouth Park, New Jersey. It's a small track, great day. And, I'm just happy about that,
Yeah, Bryce
things are
Harper
getting back to normal.
Bryce Harper home run.
Yes, Bryce Harper hit the home run.
So when they don't count, he can hit them. Normally he's about a 219 hitter. Chris Suglia, it felt organic, but was it vegan? Really, was it vegan?
Right.
It's like we have some, here in Maui, there's some serious vegan areas, of the island. I mean, it is what it is, and I don't pretend to be it. It's like, oh, I feel weird showering before going to Mana Foods. It's like, you're not even vegan. It's like, it's like, why don't you like going there? I'm like, because they give me looks. They're not looking at you. I'm like, they're giving me that, you're not even vegan.
Well, if I walked in, they definitely know I wouldn't be vegan either. I can tell you that.
Yep, 4 baseball games today, and we got a pretty good slate of games for tomorrow. Pretty good. So, a little bit of controversy here about the scheduling.
Okay.
As a Yankee fan, are you offended that they list the Phillies as one of the tougher tougher teams you got to play in this stretch? It's like they got to play the Braves. It's like the first 38 games. It's the Braves, the Red Sox,
Right.
the Rays, and
Bring
the
it
Phillies.
on.
It's like what?
Exactly. Bring it on. You
How
kidding
are
me?
you in this discussion? I mean,
Exactly. Yeah.
and where did that come from? It's like same people that hired Showalter came up with that graphic, is my guess.
Right. When I was coming home, I actually had to drive by the Phillies Park and Lincoln Financial Field, and I turned to my left off the highway and did a quick double take. And no, we're not scared of the Philadelphia Phillies, even though Joe Girardi is their manager, the ex-Yankee manager.
So the Philadelphia Phillies were 81-81 last year, 16 games behind the Braves, who were not picked to win the division for some. They were picked by us. I think we all had the Braves last year to win that division. The Phillies were picked to win that division. 16 games up the track, as they say, since we're talking a little Haskell here.
Right.
Yeah, I'm still on Max on Thursday. Why not? Yeah, there was. I mean, the hitters are always ahead of the pitchers early. We know that.
I agree.
They always
I agree
are.
with that.
And the hitters are always ahead, and the pitchers eventually find a way. And that's why the pitchers usually go only a few innings in the first few games. But, yeah.
The other major league news was, for our puck dogs, which, they know, is the Blue Jays were denied by the Canadian government not to be able to play in Toronto. So I think they're looking at Buffalo or Dunedin, Florida, as their quote unquote home games. So
Dunedin looks like the face. It's like the face of the sun in July and August. I'll tell you that much. But it rains plenty. Why wouldn't they just share a stadium with one of the other teams? Kind of do a shared stadium type deal. I mean, other teams share stadiums.
Right.
No reason not to share a stadium or use one of these football stadiums that no one uses anymore.
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody's thinking the Blue Jays are going to be, in the mix to win the World Series this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the puck dogs like them.
I think I tweaked the puck dogs on purpose a little bit there with that comment.
But so I'm expecting this week, for the show to start to pick up, and especially later in the week. And speaking of which, and I'll be reminding everybody, we're going to move this show back to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're going to move it back a half hour. I'm going to start doing the Spread Knowledge show again at 10:30, computer picks, and then we'll do this show around 11 every day.
Yeah.
So kind of back to our old ways of doing things, just like it is. And tomorrow will be our final Monday with Mitch, and it's I've enjoyed it. I really have. It's like I think we've made the most out of the break, and I thought Means wasn't bad last year. I thought Means was pretty good for the Orioles, to be honest with you. He's on a bad team, but I think he has good stuff. If he's on the Phillies, he's in the preseason for the Cy Young nomination. Or the Mets, right? Or
the Orioles are just going to...
Or Red Sox, right? If he's on the Red Sox, he's a minus 220 guy. I mean... God,
the Orioles are so awful. They're not going to improve at all this year. They still got Chris Davis on that team, man.
I'd forgotten what it's like.
That's such an albatross.
I'd forgotten what it's like to bet against Andrew Kashner. Oh, God. Just brings a smile to my face. Anyway, speaking about bringing a smile to my face.
These floods of good memories coming back.
I'm going to bring in the puck dogs here, Steve. We'll see you in just a little bit. We'll probably bring you back in early for some MLB discussion before we go to our wrap-up. This was not supposed to be Jeter, but while we got Jeter here, let's trade some paint. Jeff Jeter getting the win yesterday in the Xfinity Series. I gave out the pick for him. I know I don't give it out as good as Jeter does, but a winner is a winner, plus 600 on the DQ. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. We've lost horse races on DQs, and we will take a win And, you know, I just think that, you know, what do you think, Jeff, about that race yesterday at Xfinity and the DQ of Kyle Busch?
Yeah, I mean, it's what these measures are in place for in NASCAR. I mean, basically, my understanding of failing post-race tech, just I had something a little bit off, and apparently it was off enough where they DQ'd him, obviously, and we kind of looked into a win. But hey, Austin Cindric plus 600, took it down, man. We get lucky every once in a while.
Well, the rules are the rules, and they're there for a reason, and there has to be a line that's drawn. And, I've been on this thing, I've been on the line in a lot of things in my life where it's like, you need to have this score to qualify for this, and it's like you end up being one high or one low, and it's like, can't you just give me the break? I'm just 0.1 away or whatever. The line is the line for a reason. It's like you got to have it there. So,
rules are there for everybody.
Yeah,
break them.
They are there. They are there for everyone. Rod's a little low. Oh, there you go. There you go. A little better on this side.
We've had it happen the other way as well. Lots where we got really burnt. Where that could be our guy that's sitting there in the winner's circle and he gets DQ'd. Been there and done that.
So what happened in the truck series yesterday? I did not see that one.
Well, now Kyle ended up winning that and was not DQ'd. So then I gave that pick over to you the other day, and he was minus 145.
I gave those out yesterday, so we gave them out, and we'll count them as wins.
Yeah, so we did okay, but the other picks didn't do so well. But hey, we'll hit them sometimes, and sometimes things happen. Again, it's NASCAR. Anybody can blow a tire at any moment, and if the motor can blow up, an accident can happen. So got to keep that in mind too.
Speaking about accidents waiting to happen, we got the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500 today. Where is this one from? Texas, right?
Texas again, yep. Texas, sister track to Charlotte Motor Speedway, 1.5 miles.
Where in Texas is this?
In Fort Worth.
Fort Worth, Texas. All right.
And
so near Dallas.
And near Dallas, and it's 1.5 miles. Today's distance will be 500 miles. That'll be 334 laps. So,
what's the over/under on track temperature for this one?
My guess will probably be 125 to 130. So,
will anyone try to fry an egg in pit lane?
They might have tried to fry one on Kyle Busch's head last night after the Xfinity race yesterday.
Well, Ruffalo said that he will. Two of them over easy. And anyways, so what do we got cooking for this trip around the oval?
Well, I've got 2 win bets. I've got a group bet, a couple top 5s and a top 10 for today.
Rod, how about you?
Yeah, I got a couple top 5s and a couple win bets.
All right,
For
Jeff.
me, I'm gonna.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna take Blaney top 5. He's been there the last how many races? Give me Blaney top 5. Also gonna take Logano top 5 plus 150. I think he's there as well today. And my 2 winners, I'm gonna take Hamlin to win. Can't go wrong with that. And my long shot of the day, give me Jimmy Johnson here. He really likes this Texas track. He's done really well here. And I think at some point this year he gets one more win before he retires. So,
Jeff, how about you?
Yeah, my 2 win bets. I like Chase Elliott at plus 750. He's been pretty much the fastest car on these intermediate tracks this year. Right with Kevin Harvick. He's just not put the finishes together. So I think it's not a bad bet there. I like Ryan Blaney to win the race. Put that as my pick over on the website at Pick Dogs. He's at plus 1,100. I think he's starting second today. It's got a great track position to begin this race. I think solid bet there. And at plus 1,100, it's pretty good. My group bet, I like Clint Boyer at plus 375 to finish ahead of William Byron, Matt DiBenedetto, Eric Jones, and Alex Bowman. down the Truex. I like him to top 5 at plus 150. I agree with Rod on Joey Logano to top 5 at I got it at plus 165. And Austin Dillon, I'm going to take a shot on him to get a top 10 at plus 275 today. Austin's been kind of in and out of that top 10 range at these intermediate tracks this season. I think it's a fair shot on it today. So other than that, that's all I have for the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500.
All right, we kind of look back at some of the winners so far this season. Ryan Newman, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Alex Bowman. These were all before the break. And then Kyle Busch and Clint Boyer, Chase Elliott, all before the break. And Brad Keselowski, as well as Ryan Preece. And then we came out of it. Kurt Busch, William Byron, Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex, Eric Almirola, Ryan Preece, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, Michael McDowell, Martin Truex Jr. So, just kind of spread around, I would say, but still some big names that aren't in there. So I think look out for the big names on the standard track, right?
Well, last weekend at Kentucky, and it compares a little bit to Texas, but I didn't, Kyle Busch started on the pole and fell back very, very fast. I'm truly concerned with the speed out of this 18 car this year. It's been multiple races this year that he keeps falling back, from his starting spot. And they just don't have it figured out right now. They don't have it figured out with this package, and I just don't know what to think of it. So until they get it turned around, I'll be avoiding Kyle, just in my opinion, at these 1.5-mile tracks. Other tracks, we may throw them in the discussion. But to this weekend,
He's out.
No.
Even himself, he says he doesn't even know what the problem is. That he's tried to fix it, and he's right in there, but he can't even figure it out either. He has no idea why his car's losing speed like that. And it's baffles him. And he doesn't know what to do.
All right. There you have. Kyle Busch is baffled. Anyway, speaking of baffled, I'm going to bring Ruffalo in. We're going to do the Puck Dog segment. We'll bring Jeter back at the end of the show. So I got a bone to pick with you guys, with the Puck Dogs. I have to say, there's a UFC fighter whose nickname is the Queen of Violence, and you guys don't even mention that on the show? I mean, come on. It's like, I hear Queen of Violence, it's like, all of a sudden I have to bet this thing. It's like, Queen of Violence? Is there a better nickname in the history of fighting than that?
At first I thought it was a meatball.
It's like, and they show her in the corner. It's like the Queen of Violence. The other one's kind of like, oh yeah, I'm loose, whatever. She's like, I'm gonna rip your head off. And I'll tell you what.
She didn't rip her head off, but she sure was ready to rip her leg off.
Yeah, I was. I was scared. I was scared. I want no part of that, man. She's like 100 pounds or something, soaking wet. It's like, whoa, man. I want no part of that. No part of that. Whoa, she is a tough customer. Where does she stand in the grand scheme of women's MMA? Is she a contender? Is she on the way up? Is she kind of like, was that a bounce? I mean, I'd never heard of her before, but man, it was as one-sided as some of the fights were. That one was basically, I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly, methodically move your leg into the perfect position and then try and snap it off your body. And that's basically what happened. She kind of like sat there. She kind of like moved the leg over like this. It was like she was at a craftsman's table, right? It's like this. And then she goes, it was craziness. Where's Lipsky? Where's the Queen of Violence stand, Chris?
I'm checking the rankings right now, and I actually don't see her on any of them. On the top 15 of the strawweight, flyweight, or bantamweight.
Is she a newcomer to UFC?
I believe so.
So will be on the way up. That was kind of like, it was similar to the first time we saw Ronda Rousey. It was super similar, where it was just like move, over, right? It was kind of like it was that dominant. It really, really was. In all fairness, the other woman, as we had discussed, had light experience as well. A Thai fighter. So once she got off her feet, she was pretty much dead. And speaking about pretty much dead, there was some other fights there that were just clubbings. We saw the main event. We saw Figueroa.
Yeah.
Against
Joseph Benavidez. Yeah.
Seriously one-sided fight in that one. It was not even close. It was just a matter of, I'm just going to keep letting go until I have the perfect choke on you. I have a choke.
Yeah.
I don't like this one. I'll let it go. I'll put another choke on you. Let it go. All right, I like this one. And he was out, right? He was out like
he was
out cold.
But see, the thing is, that was his first submission loss, so I don't think he knew how to tap. I think he was just like, okay, well, it looks like I'm going out.
And then went out, tongue hanging out, eyes are rolling, hands are twitching.
Yeah,
that fight should have been stopped way sooner.
Now, I thought one of the most impressive fighters was Fiziev.
Yeah.
I thought that he was one of the most impressive fighters of the night because not as big as his opponent is in height, but just tough as nails. And when he, kind of like Benoit a week earlier, when he threw a punch, when he made a kick, you felt it through the TV. Right? You felt it through. I mean, I was watching on my computer, like I was watching the Mets on the TV, and when he made those kicks, they were saying it sounded like a belt snapping across the guy's chest, but it hurt a lot more than a belt. It was. What'd you think of that fight?
I mean, tell you the truth, I thought it was 30-27. I thought he won all 3 rounds, but I mean, again,
he kind of ran out of gas at the end. I thought
he did. But I thought he had done enough damage up to that point that it would have at least given him the 3rd round. But again, he won that fight regardless. I can't disagree with the decision.
So the Askarov fight against Pantoja, I generally like these jiu-jitsu guys, but I really don't like that Pantoja guy. I just don't even see how he got around or anything. Basically, I've been to UFC fights where they boo guys that are working their asses off on the ground, right?
Yeah. And
this guy, I'm not quite sure what the hell he's doing, I just don't think that was, that was the best strategy. It was maybe the second worst strategy. The worst strategy I saw was the Diakiese against Fiziev, where his strategy was to get hit in the face as hard as you can and try and bleed all over your opponent. That I don't think is effective. But I think that this Pantoja, however you pronounce it, like I said, I'm not a UFC guy, but if you're not landing strikes at all, and you're just trying to wrestle, and you are getting hit, and you're trying to wrestle with a guy that's actually physically stronger than you, I don't get it. What exactly are you trying to do? Hope that he messes up so bad that you can slip something in? Because even if you slip something in, this guy could just physically rip his hands apart like this every single time. I just missed it. What's going on there? How did he get around?
I'm not sure. To tell you the truth, I didn't even think Pantoja was going to have a chance in that fight because he was half preparing to step into the main event in case one of them didn't make weight again. Because that's what Dana White was saying. He was saying that Pantoja was going to get the title shot, in the interim title shot, if either Benavidez or Figueiredo didn't make weight for this fight.
Oh, God, it's like Oklahoma, man. Just go away, in college football. Just go away, man. I don't need to see that,
Yeah, well, imagine him in the main event. It would have been ugly. It would have been more ugly than the main event was.
Yeah.
It was just, I don't know, man. I did not enjoy it. Yeah, he raised his hands up after the fight like you won. Like, what was that? It's like, you didn't win. I don't even know how you got around, man. I'm serious. Wow, Gratitude Attitude made $450 yesterday. Chris, who'd you have in Super Bowl III? Jets? Money line?
I think so.
Yeah. Me too.
I think I placed that bet before I was even a thought.
Yeah, the easiest way to win is to give your picks out after the games are over. I've never missed one. Actually, according to my grading system, and actually the guy who had a problem with my grading sent me an email yesterday apologizing, and we hugged it out behind the scenes, which is always good. But it's like, I have a tremendous record of picking winners after the game is over. Also, the bankroll that I built on games that I only get to give out after it is over. I've had some tremendous winners over the years. Anyway, so I thought it was a decent UFC card. I thought that Joe Duffy was the most disappointing fighter of the night, getting submitted in a hurry. I thought that Gordon, was stunk the joint up too. I thought there was, we saw some good fighters that I would like to see in better matchups than what they were in. Yeah. I think that's what we saw a lot of. Was some guys that we could say, wow, this guy, he's better than that kind of middle of the middle rung. Maybe we see him in the upper middle, lower upper, right? Kind of like the next thing. And that's what this is. That's what UFC Fight Night is. And UFC on ESPN is kind of the opposite. It's kind of the lower to try and get to the middle. This is the middle to get to the upper. And, it's like, yeah, if this Fiziev or, the Queen of Violence gets into something, makes it up to the next level, I'd like to see what they can do. I would like to see it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think for me, the one fighter that disappointed the most last night was Kelvin Gastelum in the co-main event. I thought he was going to, show up, be the fighter that we saw against Israel Adesanya not too long ago in the title fight, and he goes and gets submitted in the first minute 15. I mean, I knew Jack Hermanson was going to be a good fighter. This was supposed to be my fight that went the distance, and it came about 13 and a half minutes short of that. So I think Kelvin Gastelum's on his way out. I think he's just going to be a gatekeeper for the division and nothing more than that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I like Fight Island. I like the whole idea of Fight Island. And kind of we talked about Fight Island yesterday and what goes on when they're not in their matches and stuff like that. And I think what we've seen, though, which kind of is what I thought Fight Island could be, we're seeing that in the NBA. And I think that that's the coolest thing to see is you see these guys out hitting golf balls on the driving range and fishing. Joel Embiid is even hanging out with his teammates, which is like never happens, right? It's like, I mean, it's pretty cool, this NBA bubble. It's actually, it's like showing the guys hanging out in the bubble. It's kind of like when the guys come to Maui in college basketball and hang out, very, very similar. But anyway, speaking about hanging out, we're still hanging out with some soccer. Probably going to lighten the load on soccer coverage. We'll still have some if you guys have some picks and stuff as we continue on in the coming weeks. But we're starting to offload on the soccer a little bit. But I think the seasons are starting to wrap up anyway. So so they shouldn't feel so bad, right? But we do have some action today. We got a lot of La Liga. We got a lot of Serie A and a few EPL. And then, what's this thing? It's like the European Championship, something. Not European, but, I don't know what it is. Chelsea against Manchester United.
The FA Cup. So it's basically the tournament across England.
So it's not FA Cup?
No, it's not. It's not FA Cup.
Hey, you can't say that on this show.
I'm glad you stopped me there. I was going to say something. There were a lot of those in the earlier rounds, but
I got fucked up last night. Fucked.
Yeah, no, they.
I fucked that one up pretty badly.
Oh boy. Yeah, no, I'm not touching the FA Cup today. It's going to be a good game, one to watch, United and Chelsea, but I don't have any skin in that game. I think my first one, I'm going to go to Serie A. I like a draw between Roma and Inter. Last 4 matches head-to-head have all been draws, and Roma's not going to. They're trying to get points to hold on to one of the Europa League spots. Inter's pretty much in the top 4, so I'll take a draw at plus 265.
Rod,
I like the over in that game, Roma and Inter. I think we're going to get a lot of goals. It's going to be a battle.
What other games are you guys looking at? We do have a lot of games on the card. How many games do you have? Do you have any premium picks today, Chris, on soccer?
I do have one for Serie A.
And how about you, Rod?
There's two in there.
All right. So you have
one in La Liga, one in Serie A.
All right, and just remember, if you spend more than $100 in premium picks over a 30-day period, whether it be a 1 month subscription or a 1 week subscription or 2 or 3 individual picks, just send me your name and email address, and I will send and your shirt size. It's not one size fits all. And your shirt size, and I will send you one of these Pick Dogs shirts. I can't keep track of everyone on the sales. Thanks to everyone who's bought picks and packages already with just soccer and UFC going on. I can't believe the outpouring of support that we've had so far. It's craziness. I'm always stunned, when people, do it, but it's like I appreciate it. It's appreciated. We haven't made any money as a site in quite some time, so I've been paying all the bills directly out of my pocket. I did not take any government funding, so it is what it is. Anyways, Chris, what else we got on board? Where are you going to get your kicks?
I'm going to get my last 2 kicks out of the MLS tonight. The first one, I'm going to go to Chicago Fire and San Jose Earthquakes. I like the over 2.5 at -150. It's just we've seen 17 goals in the last 5 head-to-head. And given how the two teams performed so far in their first couple games, I think we see another over here. So I'll take the over 2.5 with Chicago and San Jose.
Now, I watched one of these MLS games the other night, and Orlando in July is not comfortable.
Yeah.
It's not comfortable. I don't care if it's night. I don't care what it is. Orlando is in the middle of the state of Florida, so you do not get the ocean breezes. There's a reason they built Disney in the middle of the state there. You got all that land very, very, very cheap because it is hotter than the face of the sun. I think that's why we're seeing so much scoring in these MLS games is because, especially like the last, second half of last night, because defense always takes a lot more out of you than offense. And it's like these guys are soaking wet 5 minutes into the game. It just looks like they're playing in a rainstorm, right? Obviously not ideal conditions, but it just shows you, kind of like we talked about Victor Oladipo and some of the other guys that are sitting out now in baseball. And, and guys are leaving the bubble in the NBA. And, it's not like we're leaving the bubble and not coming back. They're like saying, I'm leaving, but I got to come back. It's like Montrez, right? Harrell.
Yep.
It's like, I'm not leaving. I'm coming back. I'm playing. It's like we're playing for a championship this year. But I think that has something to do with these high scores. But Rod, what do you got as far as freebie for us?
We got Napoli playing today in Serie A. Give me the Napoli game over 2.5. Another game I see we're gonna see some goals as well. Give me Napoli over 2.5 goals. And Parma's playing with some weird name that I'm probably gonna butcher, but
Sampdoria.
I don't think the Queen of Violence was Bittler's pick of the day. The Queen of Violence was Bittler's. He gave out a free pick in the Facebook group on that. He also had premium picks yesterday, and I believe it was the guy who grabbed the guy by the toe, the one that they were disappointed in, the other guy. He had the winner in that fight where Gastelum and Hermanson. The one fight that I found less interesting than even all of the others. Not as less interesting as Buck Showalter, whatever he was talking about, because we don't know what that was. But I'm just talking about like of the fights. I couldn't feel it. I just couldn't get there. I tried. I just couldn't get there. Anyways, but it was one of Brian's pick. No, we're only giving away shirts with purchases. So it would actually be cheaper for you to buy picks. I'd rather you guys buy picks and get the shirt that way, or packages. Even though I would make less money than just selling and sending you a shirt. I don't care. The giveaway is for purchases. We'll tie it in with spread knowledge too. I'll talk to Charles. Anyways, where are we?
My 3 picks. Here's the birdcage. Syria, Parma, over 2.5. Napoli, over 2.5. Roma, over 3. Parlay them up. Syria, birdcage. Nice over under.
Say it
Love
again.
that.
Parma.
Parma, over 2.5. Napoli, over 2.5. Roma, over 3.
So over.
3 overs. Yeah.
For my last one, I like the Sounders to beat Vancouver. I just think Seattle's had 2 games. This is their last chance. They'll make good on it. So I like the draw between Rome and Inter at plus 265. Seattle Sounders money line and over 2.5 in Chicago Fire San Jose Earthquakes matchup should pay just under 9-1.
So the hoodies are only available through purchase on the site or through our YouTube channel. We don't give away hoodies. I don't keep hoodies in stock. Those are done direct mail from another company. It's a different logo on the hoodies. These are the logo on the T-shirt, our full and original Pick Dogs logo. I'm not one of these guys that's like, oh, our logo is traditionally, we have to keep the logo the same. If you've ever seen, I'm going to show you guys, maybe tomorrow I'll show you guys, I've done it before where I've shown everyone all the Sports Chat logos, but I can show you guys the Sports Chat shirts throughout the years too that we've done. But yeah, this is the Pick Dogs logo of the shirts that we're giving away. It's the full Pick Dogs logo, and then this is the Pick Dogs logo of the hoodies and all of that stuff. This is the half logo. This is the one that's on the website. In the banner of the website is this one, and then this is this one. So they're very similar. It's just cut here, just to make it fit in that space on the website. And it's kind of, I think that one, if I do hats, I will do that one. Will look better on the hat than this.
Or we can stand up a little.
Yeah. Today's model, Rod, and that's could be yours if the price is right. Come on down. So everyone knows I was on The Price is Right? I hit the dollar on the wheel. Said, come on down, Mitch Wilson, come on down. Off I went. It was awesome. I hit a nickel on the first spin, or 15 cents. The one just past the dollar. I hit the dollar on my spin, and it went to the 15 cents. And then I was the first one to spin because I lost it, right? So I was the first one. And then I asked the audience. And he's like, would you like to stay there? Would you like to spin again? I asked the audience. I hit the 85 cents on the next spin. And then on the bonus spin, the same thing happened. I hit the dollar and it clicked. And so I got the second bonus level. So it hit the dollar on the second spin and it just clicked over. It was the exact same spin I had given on the first spin. And that wheel is a lot heavier than it looks. A lot heavier. Anyways, Chris, what do you got for us? Come on down. I was wearing my Chicago Bears shirt. It was like, it's like, I'm going to be on.
It's like I run down the aisle and I'll just trip and like boing, boing, boing. And somehow I'm making them the contestant row standing up.
Come on down.
My shirt's rolled halfway up. Just like my name tag ripped in half.
Little mustard.
And they're like, where'd you get a pretzel? We don't even sell food here.
Where do you see the Blue Jays playing, Chris?
Buffalo.
Who do you like? So who's your last picks here? We're gonna bring the guys back.
Sorry, a tie between Roma and Inter Milan, Seattle Sounders money line, and Chicago Fire San Jose Earthquakes over 2.5.
Okay.
Got about 9-1.
Okay, we can recap those during your final segment too. Gonna bring everybody back in here. We got baseball back in session. We've got preseason baseball. Super tough to super tough to handicap. But we do have games. Anyone see anything that they like in baseball today? I like the White Sox over the Cubs. I mean, that's just me. Because I hate the Cubs and I like the White Sox. But Steve, you like the Yankees?
I like the Mets to bounce back against the Yankees tonight.
Any comment on the German thing? I don't even understand this.
I was actually going to make that.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll save it. We'll save it. We'll save it. We'll save it.
That wasn't not at the end, but yeah, I do have a comment. Yes, I'm so thankful Domingo Germán has decided not to retire.
I don't even understand this. I just missed this.
He still has 63 games of his suspension for domestic abuse. The guy did go 18-4 last year. I will grant him that, but no, I don't lose much sleep over Domingo Germán.
I did not fade Porcello yesterday, for those of you keeping score at home. No, I did not. But I plan on doing it in the future. Charles is texting me on Skype, sending me messages that he is ready to go. Him and Spread Knowledge. He's been cooking it up in the basement. They did a lot of overhauling at Spread Knowledge. I complained every bit of the way. I hate change for the sake of change, but some of the stuff is actually pretty good and will be helpful. And of course, I'll be showing it to you guys live at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, starting probably Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll figure it out. Maybe Wednesday I'll start doing it, and then this show will be moved back to 11. But speaking of Chris Ruffalo, Chris, what do you got?
Just a couple things. First, I'm starting to see the UFC, the top tier cards that are showing up for the next couple months. They're starting to put some quality lineups together. 252 is going to have a trilogy fight between Stipe Miocic and Daniel Cormier for the heavyweight title. And then 253 is going to have Israel Adesanya and Paulo Costa, just the second undefeated versus undefeated fight in UFC history, back to Lyoto Machida and Rashad Evans in 2009. So I'm looking forward to that. But just to recap the soccer picks, I'm going to go with a tie between Roma and Inter Milan at plus 265. Seattle Sounders money line minus 157 against Vancouver Whitecaps, and over 2.5 Chicago Fire, San Jose Earthquakes at minus 152. Should pay you just south of 9-1.
Rod?
For me, my little quick thing is, yes, I know it would be nice to have the Jays playing in Canada, but I totally understand that you had to deny them from playing in Canada because there's just no safe protocol to have that many teams coming in and out and in and out and in and out. It was best for the country of Canada. So it's all lined up. They'll play in Buffalo. They're not going to be in Dunedin and sweating their bag off down there in Florida. They'll be in Buffalo playing baseball this year. And speaking of baseball, I'm going to take the Phillies today. Give me the Phillies on the run line. Phillies minus 1.5 at plus 115. I'll give that a go today in the preseason baseball.
Playing against the Orioles. Double J, Jeff Jeter.
My little thing for this coming week, we've got Kansas up next on the NASCAR schedule. The Cup race will be on Thursday evening instead of Sunday next week, so we'll note that. And then we've got a truck doubleheader next weekend, Friday night and Saturday afternoon, and the Xfinity race on Saturday afternoon. So we're about to get to a normal schedule with NASCAR. Like not have so much of this during the week. There's some of these races in the middle of the week, looks like. So, and I'm still waiting on the playoff schedule to come out. We're good through the regular season, but still waiting on the playoff schedule to come out. So, but other than that, good luck today.
Are you going to be able to join us for previews on these?
Yeah, I'll be able to this week. I'm off, so I'll be on Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Because next week we'll be starting a new afternoon show. So you can be part of that as well.
Okay.
It's going to be, you're not going to get Jeff Jeter time. You're only going to get like a minute. So 2 minutes. It'll be quick. Anyways.
I gave you Jeff Jeter time yesterday with my picks. So.
Yep.
Or, I mean, what you like. But anyway, appreciate you.
All right. Steve Monahan.
Yeah, so today for me is going to be watching baseball and getting the feel back. We've badged them for months on the negotiations, but just seeing the highlights from last night, it just brings you back to the love of the game, right? So on baseball notes, a couple things. I saw that Freddie Freeman did a little interview. His temperature actually got up to 104.5 during this COVID thing, and he really, experienced some traumatic moments there dealing with this. But he should be back. He's practicing. He should be ready to go in a couple weeks. So that's a good thing. And also DJ LeMahieu on the Yankees experienced COVID too, and he couldn't get back because he kept testing positive, things like that. So, those are the two of the best players in the game. So I'm happy that they're back. And I just saw that Jordan Zimmerman is going to the 45 disabled list. Jordan Zimmerman signed a 5-year contract with the Detroit Tigers for $110 million. This guy went 1-13 last year with a 6.91 earned run average. And listen, he was a more than serviceable pitcher with the Nationals. But you roll the dice. And I just wanted to bring that up. It's sometimes, man, when you whiff in baseball, woo, do you whiff? So that's it.
So we have every spring training game covered at sportschatplace.com and pickdogs.com. So if you are on spring training today, we have free picks and write-ups on every game, just like we always do all season long and every year for the past 14 years. So be sure to check out sportschatplace.com and pickdogs.com. Anyways, time for my wrap-up segment here, and I'm going to continue down the same road that I've been talking about for the last week or so. And, like Steve said earlier in the show, yesterday was the first day it kind of started to feel normal again. We started to see baseball, there's UFC, and and generally July 18th, that's what we're going to see, right? Baseball. There's nothing else going on in July 18th than baseball. And UFC, I mean, there wasn't a ton of baseball. It wasn't like a full card of games. It wasn't like, how Major League Baseball in the weekends is gone to, like, instead of all these day games like they used to have on Saturdays, it's kind of like 1 or 2 early games, 1 or 2 afternoon games, and then a full slate of night games, which is fine with me because I live in Hawaii, 6-hour time difference. So it's all, it's all 1 o'clock in the afternoon as far as I'm concerned. But, I think that one thing that we all learned about through this COVID thing is not to take sports for granted, and not to take games for granted, not to take, that this is just something that's, that's our right, it's a privilege, and I just consider everything that I get to do here with you guys every day a privilege as well. And I know a lot of the other sites stopped their live shows. They stopped doing as much content as they were doing. They stopped all these things, because everything stopped. They consider this work. They consider this a job. They talk about how much work it is, how hard it is, all those things. I'll tell you, a year ago, I walked away from my own companies that I had built from the ground up, 2 of them. They were 2 of the largest websites, not just in sports betting, but in the entire internet, because I didn't agree with the values of some of the people that I was working with at the time. And I swore up and down that when I started Pick Dogs, and I swore up and down when I got Sports Shop Place back, that I would never take one more day for granted that I get to share with you guys and to get to share with these guys every day, man. And it is a privilege to be able to, this is what I do for a living, and this is what, my life is that every day I get to spend this time talking about sports with you guys, sharing my picks, my wins, my losses, hopefully not as many of those, but, we share them together. And, some guys win when I lose, some guys lose when I win. Hey, it's all part of the game. There's 2 sides at least to every bet. And some of these sports, what I've learned is there's 3 and 4 sides. I don't even understand how to bet soccer, to be honest with you. But, a privilege. And I just thank you guys. I can't thank you guys enough for sticking with us through this COVID break. I know some of these shows have been a little rough. I know that, personally, I've sat through Serie A. I mean, if there was Serie B, I would sit through that too, man. And, La Liga and EPL, all sports that I don't follow. NASCAR, I mean, I got Jeter on here. I mean, so this is where we are, But like I said, it's a privilege, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. And I can't really stress that enough. Through the years, I've tried to give as much as possible for free, and I've been really criticized by others in this industry about how much we give away for free. Normally, if it was a t-shirt giveaway like this, you guys know normally it's you send me your email, I'll send you a t-shirt. That's what we've done in the past. But now it's like, $10,000 to us, since we haven't made any money, is a lot of money, But you guys make all this stuff possible. You guys make these shows possible. It's and when I say, the Pick Dogs Facebook group is our community, this is ours. And I mean it, ours, not mine. It's ours. So I just appreciate all you guys. I can't say it enough. But anyways, and I certainly don't take you or anyone for granted. And that's why I always answer all your emails and everything like that. Anyways, got the boys back in town. Guys, tomorrow you got the day off. I know we got a bunch of Major League Baseball going on tomorrow. Start 2 games at noon. We got a 1:10 Eastern time, 2:05, 2:10, 3:10, 3:40, another 3:40. So it's just afternoon, daytime sports, right? On a Monday.
You love it all.
On a Monday.
Bring it on.
On a Monday, and you look ahead to Tuesday, and it's the first game is at 8:05 a.m. Eastern time on Monday, on Tuesday. So we'll be doing the show. These guys are going to be like, it might be done already, and that's the Royals-Astros. And I think you throw the Royals-Astros on Major League Baseball Network at 8:05 a.m., they're going to get some ratings. So, it is what it is. I don't know how you get to an 8:05 a.m. start, but they did it. And, I think we got bright days ahead, man. I'm excited to be able to share it with you guys and with everyone out there, of course. So, that's it, right? Anyone got anything else they got to add here? Ruffalo? Usually have some kind of snide comment here. No?
Only for you.
You care to share anything that no one cares about?
Well, that's my life's mission.
It's like I ran out of cannolis last night, midway through the cards.
Okay. For your information, there are still 2 in the fridge. That is what I call lunch.
That's never happened. It's never happened in this house. Anyways,
What? You took the cannolis off the cake and put them in the fridge?
Oh no, there's still 2 slices of cake in the fridge.
Oh my god.
Oh, we still have 2 cannolis on top?
Yes.
Nice. Oh, that looks so good. Oh.
All right. We'll see cannolis on Tuesday. See everyone else tomorrow. Have a